Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NBNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock.
Go big red indeed. No block, no rock. Coming at you once again from the Sinovation Studio in Omaha, Nebraska. Heavy brewing, heavy brewing. We all love heavy brewing. No?
Are you writing jingles on the side now?
Why am I the one singing about heavy brewing?
Because we didn't discuss a jingle before we started.
Get your dill right. The best pickle beer in the state.
It does bang.
It does bang.
It does bang.
Yeah, I'm also drinking Get Your Dill Right.
You are.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my dill right here during the show.
Yeah. It looks right.
Yeah.
Does it feel right? Does it taste right?
It is a pickle Pilsner beer.
Oh, no.
Kyle,
I sang the jingle.
Yeah, you killed Kyle's mic. It decided that nobody needed to hear it and just shut up. Wait, what's going on?
Do we keep going?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
What?
Oh.
Wrong.
All
All
done.
right, now we Kyle's good.
Kyle,
All right,
you
let's
good?
keep going on the beer.
What are you drinking, Kyle?
Yeah, Cobb. What did you get? What you got?
I'm drinking Wits McGee.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's my favorite beer at
Always coming up with clever names for their beer. And you know, I've always said like the Hefeweizen's my jam. And this is pretty like, I don't want to say it is a Hefeweizen because it's not. It's a wit, right?
Yeah, they're similar styles though.
Yes.
They're wheat beers.
But I don't know. It's just a smooth drinking beer.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Wait, hold on. That's all you have to say about it? It's an easy drinking beer. What else you got, Kyle? Because you were praising the shit out of this beer before we went on air.
I don't know how to convince you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Goes down good.
I'll tell you what. So I've got the Wits McGee as well. You guys know today, is it a holiday? Is Groundhog's Day a holiday? Can we call it that?
On my calendar, it says it's a holiday because
Yeah.
it's an event on my calendar that I didn't add, so I think it counts as a holiday.
Did you guys get work off?
Well, no,
No.
I don't get
That's
work
some
off.
bullshit. It should be. I will tell you that stupid fucking rodent is so wrong. Wits McGee makes it feel like it's springtime. I don't care that he said 6 more weeks of winter.
Does he ever say it's not going to be 6 more weeks of winter?
Did you? Dating back to 1887 when the tradition started. This is a real thing. Dating back to 1887 when they started bringing those rodents out of the ground. He's 39% accurate. Fuck that
dude.
rodent.
Yeah.
Wits McGee tells me it's springtime. This is a springtime beer. Get it now. I'm telling you, just get it now.
You don't want Punxsutawney Phil to be your quarterback.
No.
You know, throwing 39%. Maybe
Shooting three.
shooting threes.
There we go.
Maybe. But it's Punxsutawney Phil and some other fucking rodent that's doing it now. There's like 2 different rodents. And they both saw their shadow because, of course.
They have
They're
2
scared-
of them now?
Yeah.
That's such a cop-out.
I know. And they're
Yeah.
both scared little pussies. They
And-
see the little shadow.
We had
Every
double the
time.
chances of not having 6 more weeks of winter, and they doubled down, and they both said, "You're
So
going to
what's
have
the
more winter."
opposite of 6 weeks? You get 2 weeks or
I have no idea.
one
because
knows.
I think it's
Everyone-
always winter.
Always winter.
I'm fairly positive I can beat either one of those groundhogs in a fist fight. I'm saying it's spring. It's coming. I'm like 80% sure.
Dylan Utter.
Back
Hello.
again.
Welcome back.
Honorary NBNR member.
4th time?
Yeah.
Have you got your t-shirt in the mail yet?
Nope. I'm still waiting on the hat for a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Someday.
That's all Mike's fault right there.
Hey, we do have new merch.
Oh, go
So
on.
yeah, so if you want a hat, we don't have any money, but you could buy one.
There you go.
MBNR hats. They're on Herd at Brand Goods. If you want to get it, it's mbnr.herdatbrandgoods.com. We've got really cool merch on there, and you could get yourself
There you
an
go.
MBNR hat.
Link in the bio.
I love hey, thanks for coming on for the 4th time. Spend some money with us.
Yeah.
That's
You
your
know,
thank you.
You got to
Yeah.
invest in us now.
I think every time it's been in a new location too.
Yeah. Well, welcome
actually-
to the Sinovation Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has,
It
hasn't
has
it?
been.
Look
Yep.
at you. World traveler.
Heavy Brewing, based out of Gretna, Nebraska. go to their tap room. It's amazing. Their space is amazing. They have awesome events. Mike goes there like every weekend.
You were there
I was there.
What, this last Friday?
I was there Friday, and then I was there 2 Fridays ago. It's really close to my house. It's 9 minutes away. So
Did you get pizza when you were there?
I did.
What'd you get?
It's called like the Big Baller or something. It's meatballs and pepperoncinis on it. It was so good.
They rotate pizzas pretty frequently,
Yeah,
don't they?
they are good. Their pizzas are fantastic.
I have been a number of times to their tap room. I've had their beer around the area a bunch. I'm telling you, their beers are great, but they could have a standalone restaurant, just brick and mortar, just pizza, and I would still go.
Yeah, they should have a food truck. That would be sweet.
I would find it.
Yep.
I would find where it was.
Okay.
So heavy brewing.
Heavy brewing. La, 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 la.
We're gonna need to get interns to write jingles for us if we're gonna keep doing this.
Oh no.
Okay. Did I was that okay?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Did we talk about Dylan's beer? Did we?
Dylan is
With
also
McGee. We did,
with
yeah,
McGee
yeah.
as well.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
McGee. Yeah, come on now.
I'm just double checking.
I hear you. Okay. You guys, this is the time of year. We got basketball going on. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, do people even want to talk about football? Do they?
It has been a weird year.
Do they, Dylan Utter? Are people just yearning to talk about Nebraska football right now? What do you think?
Not when you have the hoops team balling out like they are.
Yeah.
I know 2 losses, but still got to ride the high with what we're at. Long season, but we're trying to get the monkey off the back this year. So I'm kind of glad they lost early, so there wasn't even bigger, pressure on them to stay undefeated. But no, it's been fun watching these guys hoop.
See, and that was kind of the thing when they were 20-0. It's like some people wanted them to get the loss out of the way. So it's like, hey, let's learn what our weaknesses are. Let's address them. And when they're 20-0, it's like, no, fuck that. They don't need to lose to know what their weaknesses are. But then this Illinois game happens, and you see how Illinois plays them. And I've kind of come around to, I actually do like seeing it on the court when you're not playing to your, fullest, and you can see the weaknesses actually play out on the court. Now, mind you, they still played pretty damn well.
Yeah, that game wasn't even decided until there was like 4 minutes left, and that's when they kind of pulled away.
Yeah.
But Nebraska was living by the 3 and dying by the 3. And then a couple calls didn't go their way. They had Illinois had a really cool pass in the corner, and it kind of that's when Illinois just kind of went on their run to kind of put us away. But it's not like it was a bad basketball game. Like that was 2 top 10 teams playing basketball. They won by 9. And then, the Michigan game, we led for 99% of the game.
Shit.
So the team has 2 losses. They're at 20 wins. They're still a top 10 team.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
When the only 2 losses on your record are from top 10 teams, you can live with that.
And you beat one of them.
Kyle,
Yeah.
as of today, top 5 teams.
Yeah.
They were 9 when we played
Yeah,
Illinois. I did see, and I apologize, I do this quite frequently. I scroll Twitter a lot, and I can never attribute the takes to whoever I read them from. But I did see a take today that this loss against Illinois, I think when we played Michigan, we should have won. Ref show, we talked about all of that. This Illinois game that we just saw was the first time I've seen this Nebraska team get actually outplayed. And they did.
I think that's fair.
And that's fine to say. When you look at your 2 losses being 2 top 5 teams now, that's great. This is not something that we have ever. I think if you would have asked me a year ago to imagine a world where Nebraska basketball was at this point, I would have laughed in your face.
Sure.
Nebraska basketball leaps and bounds ahead of,
Expectations.
expectations.
Yeah.
And I would say leaps and bounds ahead of most of the country. Again, Michigan now number 2, correct? They jumped UConn to get that 2 spot. That's a team with 2 of your top 3 players, you could call them top 4 players, out of that game where it comes down to the final seconds.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We've talked so much about mental strength and the ability to just fight past, all of these things that can happen without Frager, without Mast. Yeah. It's a work of art watching this team play.
Yeah, dude, those losses, in back-to-back weeks, it's like you can't, that game gets over. And I'm just saying to myself, I don't care. There's nothing that anyone can say that can make me frustrated or mad about this past week.
No.
Like I'm not mad. I'm not worried. If anything, the Michigan loss made me more encouraged because Mass didn't play, Frager didn't play. And you kind of came away from the Michigan game thinking to yourself, you know what? Everybody's talking about Michigan being a potential title team, and Nebraska outplays them for 39 minutes.
All 40.
Basic.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real, and we can get into the foul discrepancy. I would just argue that the Nebraska style of play isn't conducive to, driving the lane
Right.
and falling over.
Mhm.
A lot of teams like to just fucking do that in basketball now. They just drive with their head down and they fall. It's like, no, you don't need to blow the whistle every time a dude falls down.
I got a little bit of hate for this because I said this both on Twitter and publicly, like in person, that the Michigan game showed me one thing. And to me, it showed me that I believe Nebraska is the best team in the country.
Interesting.
Okay.
I do believe that. Again, at the time we were talking number 3 Michigan, now we're talking number 2. Missing 2 very key players and keeping it that close. Again, you can talk about foul discrepancy, and that's not really what I'm looking at. But it's the fact that missing 2 key scorers and you take it to the wire. Imagine what you could do with a healthy Rank and a healthy Frager in that game.
Yeah.
Like Nebraska, in my opinion, probably wins by 10.
Oh, if that game's at PBA, I think we win by 20. So
Well, okay, we just had a game at PBA. It did not go that way.
Okay.
But
And we didn't
Illinois,
have both of those guys.
Illinois is I don't want to say much better than Michigan, but they are better than Michigan.
I think they're better than Michigan. And on top
Yeah.
of it, it's hard to beat a team 2 times.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think anybody's giving that credit. Illinois did not play the same way. I don't think they even played the same type of lineup against Nebraska for the second game. Like, they played way bigger. They knew Rank was coming off of a bug, and their goal was to pound it inside. And Nebraska doesn't usually have problems against teams that want to like take it to them on the inside. Rank was not himself,
right?
And they got outplayed.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, I was at the game. Great environment. Nebraska got outplayed. They were living by the 3. It was working. Then it wasn't.
Well, and that's the thing is about the foul discrepancy is when you're just launching 3 after 3.
You're not gonna.
And Braden Frager, love him to death, and I'm glad he's back and he shot very well. But he's just launching 3s the whole game. He's not driving to the hoop.
But
right?
he's our guy to get to the basket.
Exactly.
And I don't think he was going to do that because his ankle's still not 100%.
Right.
He refused to go to the rim.
Mhm.
So
well, that's what I'm saying. That's why there's such a big. Well, the past 2 games it was like 40-something to 9 free throws.
Yeah.
Michigan and Illinois.
yeah,
Combined,
I think
yeah.
it's 44-9.
So
Yeah.
there is an argument, specifically, I think, in the Michigan game to talk about foul discrepancy. But when we look at the season kind of as a whole, I think maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think it's important to recognize that Nebraska's play style is not conducive to drawing the amount of free throws that other teams that are going to get more physical
No,
and get down low.
Right.
Like we're just not going to get there.
Yeah.
But Kyle, I have a question for you. I was surprised that Frager coming back from that ankle injury, aside from, not getting physical, not getting down low, his shooting didn't seem to miss a step. Did that surprise you at all, Kyle?
Yes, Kyle, very surprised.
very surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. He comes out and he just has this aura about him. They pass him the ball and he just knows. And then they show that clip. It was Sam
man.
Hoiberg dropping the 3, and before the ball had hardly even left his hands, Frager's turning around because he knows it's good, right?
Beautiful.
He just has this swagger to him that kind of built up over the last, I would say, the last month. It's just, it's cool to see him come back out and ball out.
Dutter. So how much of the Nebrasketball season have you been paying attention to?
I'll watch here and there.
Yeah.
Just when I can, but a little more probably than Nebraska football this year.
Yeah,
Fair.
Well, I think with basketball, they're on a run, and I'm enjoying it. But we had some recent Millard South Nebraska talk.
Go Pats.
Go Patriots,
Go
right?
Pats.
I suppose.
And we happen to have the offensive coordinator at Millard South,
Yep.
who also played at Nebraska.
Yep.
And, last year, Millard South, powerhouse, went back to back.
I heard they had a good season.
Jet, now 5-star Jet,
Yep.
goes to Alabama. And
Roll
everybody's
Tide.
freaking out. Hey, why aren't we recruiting Millard South guys? Which also, part of that.
Right.
We still don't really recruit Millard South guys until we implant them at Millard South.
Exactly.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I feel like it's a kind of a unique situation. And you texted me
Right.
a couple of days before that happened. You said, hey, you need to get me on the pod. So you knew something was going
right. First of all, I got to give credit to those seniors last year. They were really good ball players. It's unfortunate Nebraska didn't offer some of them, and they ended up at places that are historically the last 5 to 10 years probably
better.
Way
Way
you know
better.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's just unfortunate to watch. I think a lot of those guys are really good ball players. Jet just being one of them, like Isaac Jensen. Being another one. I think that's the only one Nebraska actually offered, but I mean, he's got all the tools to be an elite tight end. And the names go down the list, but this thing kind of, just kind of fell into our lap essentially. We were ready for our freshman to be sophomore quarterback to take the reins, and he'll still see a lot of playing time for us this year, but he had kind of reached out to our head coach just saying, hey, I'm thinking about moving to Lincoln. And would play ball at Millard South. What do we have to do to kind of make that happen? So wasn't anything that we were out there looking for by any means, but when you have a stud that wants to come play football at your school, you're never going to say no.
So my question, we saw this last year, and I maybe I'm undershooting you, but the last thing I saw was nationally, Millard South ranked number 7. Am I undershooting you on that?
There's so many different little things out there, and I don't know if they plug in formulas, but like the main two are like Rivals and Max Preps.
Sure.
I want to say Max Preps has at like 50, and Rivals was at like 13 or 15 or something to end the year. So still pretty cool season for it though.
Yeah. So when you look at, you've got Jet on the way out going to Bama, I believe,
Alabama.
and you've got Trey Taylor coming in. Very much appears to be all in on the Huskers.
Right.
What kind of adjustments are you making? Like, is there a lot of adjustments to make, or is Millard South just one of those programs that is very elastic that can kind of make these shifts? Or is there anything major that you're looking at doing?
It'll be a lot different just because those guys had 4 years coming through the program,
Sure.
so they kind of knew the offense like the back of their hand. So, a lot of the times they're self-coaching themselves sometimes out there. They know exactly where to run the route, how deep, what kind of plays, what coverage is it, all that type of stuff. So essentially, since these guys will be coming in June, we don't have them through the whole off season either. So, I mean, it's going to be kind of like drinking from a fire hose to start. So I think that'll be the biggest hurdle that we have is just them learning the offense coming in and doing it at such a high level like those, other guys were. That being said, there's all those guys transferred here and there, but the reoccurring thing was a lot of those guys played together since they were young kids and youth football. So not only did they develop the chemistry there in youth football, but, carry that on through high school, which, plays a big factor once you're out there. You're playing with your boys, you're laying it all, on the line with your boys. So kind of getting like the team camaraderie, that'll be a big thing too. A lot of these guys know each other. This is a guy coming from out of state, that they don't really know much about. So, just kind of look at his leadership qualities and see how he kind of fits in the room and leads by example is what we're hoping.
Have you gotten a call from Coach Rule or Holgerson going, don't fuck this up, Dutter?
No, I mean, we're just here to call plays. I mean, last year there was a lot of hype, a lot of pressure, with those guys as well. So the target on our back just gets a bit bigger. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We're back to back, and you got the stud quarterback coming in with the receiver. So we're just here to get better one day at a time and lay it all out on the line next fall.
Do you think this could be the start of the Millard South kids maybe getting looked at by by Nebraska moving forward? Like maybe a Millard South pipeline conducted by our own Dylan Nutter,
right,
to get players to your alma
Right.
mater. Like, is that something that could happen, or is the bridge burned? Is it?
No, never burned. At the end of the day, we're just here to coach ball, and if those guys want to recruit our guys, they'll recruit them. But no, ideally, like I would love those guys to all go up there. It would have been fun to follow their careers and just 40 miles down the road. So we want guys to go there. We have a couple guys on the roster that I think are big time football players that could end up down there as well or elsewhere. But as long as we're producing those type of kids, we should be winning football games, which is the ultimate goal.
Well, here's where I'm at. Okay, when it comes to recruiting
Let's hear it.
and all this stuff. Okay,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Let's
Listen.
hear it.
Oh boy.
Trey Taylor, amazing. I can't recall a recruit that has been so all in than Trey Taylor, right? He's all in. There's no doubt he's going to be, and maybe I misheard this. At first, it was he was going to live in Lincoln, but then did he find a place in Omaha or no? Or is it still commuting?
That might happen. I don't know if that's actually
It's
gonna
just
happen,
still up in the air.
Okay. Now, yeah, again, quarterback, awesome. Getting this receiver. Sure, cool. Love receivers. Love them. I'm sure he's great. What about the linemen? Come on. Give me some linemen, Dutter. This is your freaking pride and joy.
Yeah.
Right? You're the starting center at Nebraska. I need some freaking beefy linemen from Millard South.
Right.
Okay? Do you see any guys coming up the pike that are like, you know what? I could see you wearing red one day.
Yeah.
Or dare I say, and painfully, maybe wearing black and gold for Kirk Ferentz.
I hope not. We had a big time guy that's going to Illinois, Landon Von Segeren. He was a stud for us. He's going to Illinois, which is a good football program too.
Big Bert wanted him. Interesting.
Weird.
I don't know. Just something to think about.
We had a guy going to Army as well, Carter Glab, who was the center.
All these
I hate to
things.
say because that's where it's kind of unfortunate. The walk on kind of deal is kind of no more just because just like me, I only had an Army offer as well and kind of just rolled the dice at walking on. So you're just gonna stop hearing kind of those Cinderella stories like that, which is kind of what we all love football. I guess Lyndon Meyer, Papio guy.
Indeed.
He's kind of the next walk on to kind of make a name for himself up there, but there's just not as many anymore. But those two dudes were pretty good. We got some good guys coming up. We got a good kid in the 28 class that has high potential like that. So we'll see where he ends up. But
right on.
No, we love the big boys as well. So.
Well, I remember Matt Rule saying, because everybody was critiquing him, and of course he never reads anything online.
Never.
Not once. Critiquing him about recruiting the state and all that stuff. And he said he wants his kids to come to camp. That was his big thing. Where Millard South players just not coming to camp.
Kids just don't go to camp really as much as they used
don't
to.
want to, or is that just new age like football? Like I know kids travel over the place now for camps.
I think it's when you're younger a little bit too. You know what I mean? Like freshmen, sophomores. There's a benefit to that, and there's probably coaches out there that do offer based off the camps. There's one thing to watch film, one thing to show up to a kid's classroom, but you want to see them in the trenches. And a lot of those times, those camps are like 3-a-day practices. You know what I mean? So you kind of get to see if he loves the game of football, which. Especially at the lineman position, you better love this shit because it's a grind. So, I don't know. Those kids that just graduated, they were damn good. They were good enough to go play in Nebraska. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. But, you can only do what you can do, and just got to keep coaching them up. But, no, we'd love to send those guys still there,
Okay, so in the last 3 weeks, we've had 2 coaches on our show that we have kind of talked about this pipeline that Mike has mentioned.
The Iowa Western pipeline and now the Millard South pipeline.
Yeah, Aaron Terry, the defensive line coach and recruiting coordinator for Iowa Western. And we had asked him, since Matt Rule has been there, how many times have you seen him in your office? How many times have you received a phone call? Now, I'm not asking you to get into specifics. I'm not asking you to burn any bridges here, but I just want to know, like, how often are we talking? Have you talked to the university?
Coach Mendenhall, he deals with a lot more of that stuff than I do since he's at school every day, so he sees who comes in and out. But there's probably other coaches that come around a little more, but you got to go where you wanted to. You know what I mean? So,
exactly.
That sounds really familiar.
Like I said, it's nothing against those guys. They have a process they go through. Their jobs are on the line, so essentially they get to recruit who the hell they want to. So, but like when I was going through it, Barney Cotton stopped at every school. Ed Foley was stopping at a lot of those schools. I haven't seen that since Ed kind of left either. You know what I mean? But because do you know who the high school recruiting guy is down there?
Well, it's funny because so it's Keith, but then Ed Foley's still on staff as the high school relations guy.
Oh,
so you would think that I know he's he's getting runzas and getting places in all these small towns is what he was doing when he first was the special teams coordinator. But I think his title at Nebraska, he's something with high school relations. And
Mm-hmm.
when you have high school coaches that are like, I haven't seen him, like, it's concerning to me. Like
the Shirley's Diner waitress in Gothenburg, Nebraska is like, yeah, I've seen him around. Meanwhile, Dylan Utter is like,
yeah,
but
I've never seen him.
what they don't realize is even if they just pop up through the day, you know, that just has so much weight. in the
Yeah,
state,
100%.
You know? Like
Kids
it
love that.
was fun watching Ed to see wherever the hell he was going, where he was eating and stuff like that. But I mean, like I said, when Barney Cotton would come up in his 70s leather Nebraska jacket back in the day, you know, like that stuff's cool. You know what I mean? Like they want to see those coaches. They want to see those guys in the community. You know, at the end of the day, Nebraska players just want it a little more, you know, you would think. So,
yeah. Well, and Aaron Terry said this last week, and you could probably attest to this because you're a Nebraska guy and you played for Nebraska. Like Midwest guys, you need to get guys, especially in the trenches, that want to be here. They want to play at Nebraska. In today's world with NIL and transfer portal and all that stuff, like you need to get guys that actually just want to commit to the university and not just commit to a staff or a dollar sign or all those things. Like we talked about Tyson Terry last week. Like he's committed to Nebraska. Like no matter what happens with this staff, Tyson Terry is going to be a Husker. We need more guys like that. And I don't know. And it's tough with these kids at Millard South. Like a lot of the kids in the Metro, they haven't seen Nebraska be good. And like that
ever
Right.
in their life. Like, you know, you were the last bowl team until this 2 years ago.
Right.
So like,
you gotta retire that. Right there.
like
but
they haven't seen any success. So it's tough to root for that team.
I mean, not only was Millard South good last year, but across the state, the 2026 class was really good. You know, West Side had a couple kids. You know, there was those
You're doing great.
There was those 3 or
every
4 kids that were supposed to go to Iowa State that ended up going to Penn State. I mean, Penn State's pretty damn good program.
They're pretty good.
They
They're
are.
all right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they just kind of went anywhere. I mean, we had a running back go to Illinois. You know, they're just going to all these major schools. You know what I mean? And you know, not to say that Trey Taylor and these guys can't come in, but you know, they're just taking a different approach to recruiting. You know, you don't see guys trying to like bond together and pure recruit like they used to. You know what I mean? So hopefully they can build a strong class that can stay there. Obviously, that's the main goal. You know, getting everyone there is one thing, but you got to get them to stay.
Yep.
So obviously you this last year at Millard South saw how many players go D1?
I think D1 was like 12 or so.
That's a very high number.
That's crazy.
Very high number.
Yeah.
Well, especially for this state.
Yeah.
It's
for-
unprecedented.
yes.
You know?
Small population.
But being like working with these kids day in and day out, I feel like something that we haven't talked about a lot is what do you see as like a primary concern for these kids when they're looking at all of these D1 offers? Is there something that sticks out that they're really looking for?
I think they just got to like obviously one is the facilities and stuff, but a lot of them I think start to like the coaches. You know what I mean? You kind of got to commit to a staff because that staff could be gone, you know, the next year.
Yep.
That's why guys leave so much. So, you know, I'm sure each kid looks something different. You know, some of them could be a dollar amount too. You know, we have one rule there. We don't talk about dollars. So I couldn't tell you what any kid's making down there.
Sure.
You know, we just keep that to themselves and their agents and their families. But yeah, it's just hard. I bet every kid's a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, the NIL era has to be so much weirder for a high school coach, for a high school OC to like be dealing with because you have no idea what the motivation is behind what they're looking at.
Right.
Well, have you run into, and I know high school players getting paid, I know it was like the state of Missouri. I know that was kind of like where it started, I believe, was like,
Which player was that?
I honestly don't know. Was it,
Do you know?
was it Winery? I don't know.
It was Winery that got it legalized. Yeah. They
he was-
legalized that for him specifically.
Yeah, he's the first player that I heard of that was getting paid as a high school senior, right, by Mizzou. I don't know, kind of like a bribe, I guess. I don't know. We can call it whatever we want. It's basically like a bribe.
a
what?
Advanced payment.
Advanced
I think is
payment.
how they phrased it.
And I can just imagine, you know, someone like you who is the OC. I don't know. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. And I don't know if you feel like an obligation to, you know, maybe we play this guy ahead of this guy, or I'm gonna hear about it from this segment of, you know, this kid's family or agent. I wonder if that ever like comes up, like you dealing with agents or anything like that.
No, and like one thing I say about the last crew is like they were so selfless too. You know, any of them could have been bitching like, "Give me the damn ball, I want to score." You know, we had so many guys to feed the ball to. You know, that was kind of our main obligation in the offseason is to figure out how we can get everyone touches. You know what I mean? So if you go back and look at the stats, really, we kind of fed everyone the football. You know, whether it was our 2 running backs, our two tight ends probably had 10 touchdowns each. Marion obviously had a lot of touchdowns. And then one of our favorite guys, if you guys watch the state finals game, little number 10, Owen Zeck, who never played until his senior year, just grew up with these guys. He was kind of a little on the shorter side, but just stuck with it and grinded. Had back-to-back games against Westside and Pap South with 3 touchdowns. So the hat trick in 2 back-to-back games is pretty sweet. But no, we never really had anyone complaining about that. As far as like money and stuff, like I said, we don't know any of that stuff. We keep that to those guys. But and kudos to one guy we always give credit to, this kid named Gabe Pruka, who was like a 3-year starter for us. Well, Nelson Wheeler, the Illinois guy, came in and he could have transferred, could have took the easy route. I want to go somewhere where they're going to feed me the ball all the time, but he's just a dude, selfless, and just worked his ass off. And Nelson was actually the backup all year, and Gabe started just because, he had worked for it and didn't do anything to give up his spot. So, no, we just kind of play the guys that show up, do what we ask, work hard, know the playbook, and handle the rest on the field.
I think I asked you this, right when the Trey stuff was announced, but it's kind of interesting. Like, is there anything that this staff might want you guys to do with Trey, or is it, no, he is a Millard South Patriot. We're going to run our offense. He's going to learn our offense. Like, is there anything like Glenn Thomas, Matt Rule, et cetera, that's like, hey, I want him to be doing X, or I want to see them doing this,
or work on this more,
or is it like no, like he's ours until he's yours?
They haven't said nothing to us or anything like that.
Well,
so as far as we know, like he's here for 6 months. We've been working on this offense since Ty Wisdom came back in, I think, 2021. So you can't really change your whole playbook for 4 months for 2 guys. You know what I mean? So if there is certain stuff that they want to see, or certain packages, certain route combos or RPOs or anything like that, like, we're more than welcome to add it to the playbook. We're not going to say no to that.
Okay. All right.
Get us in some meeting times right there. And we'll take full advantage. But no, it'll be good for those guys. They're moving away. They're kind of get a glimpse of college ball without, having the college classes and schedule and stuff. So, they'll have to learn a whole new playbook. We feel like we're pretty advanced with our offense as well. So any of the guys that just graduated, we feel like we prepared them for the next level just on how we kind of call stuff. Obviously, I went to college and played ball, so I kind of know what colleges are looking for. Ty Wisdom, installed a great offense, and we just kind of took it from there as well.
Do you call the offense, or does Mendy call the offense?
Yep, I do. Let Mendy kind of me and him will kind of talk on the headset and stuff like that, but he kind of takes the head coach, like CEO type role, where he's got to manage the game, which can be a lot, but
he trusts you to do your job.
Which kudos to him. That was only my second year calling plays, so I only really had 1 year of play calling experience under my belt. So Mindy had some balls to kind of trust me and call the offense for, like I said, a lot of pressure to have that kind of team, and you got to go win. Otherwise, it just fails in the state. You know what I mean?
Would you say playing center at Nebraska and kind of having to navigate, you were the offensive coordinator of the offensive line, would you say that's kind of set you up for being able to do this at this level?
A little bit. When you're an O-lineman, you don't know shit about the pass game.
No, you're just like, hey, block that motherfucker.
Yeah, our goal is to pass pros, see if a guy's coming on a blitz. But, kudos to Riker Fife. He kind of, when I took the job at Pappy, I was OC, kind of went over there with me for the first 6 months. He had moved back from Dallas and helped me out before he got another job down there. But it's kind of like a 6-month internship for me. I'm like, just tell me whatever you think you fucking know, and I'll study the shit out of it. So he lived with me. So we really just had coaches meetings every night. We'd go home, watch the film on the big screen, and just learn football. So I put a lot of trust in him. He's a smart football knowledge in the pass game. So I kind of just learned everything from him. And then, Twitter, everything, YouTube. There's so much information out there to be a ball coach. Really, you just got to use your resources.
YouTube University.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So spending your life on the O-line, do you find yourself looking at film and just getting after your O-lineman for any small mistake? Or are you kind of trying to be fair, like trying not to harp on them too much?
Well, we were pretty lucky last year. They were so damn good. There wasn't a lot. But what we like to say last year, a lot of our hardest, we call them our hardest days were practices, you know what I mean? Because we would go good on good at Millard South. Kids only start one side of the ball. So, you have your offense and your defense. So we're going, it's like a college practice. We're going good on good, ones versus ones. So you got to be prepared every single day. You can't just go to practice, just toss the pigskin around and just have a good time. Coach Urban does a great job with the defense, and those guys are going to come kill you if you don't bring your shit every day. So, No, I honestly, people hate me. Like our other assistant O-line coach always gives me shit because I wanted to throw the ball so much. He's like, "You're fucking O-lineman, buddy. Run the ball."
Right. Run the damn
But
ball.
man, it just gets addicting when you got 5-star Jet back there.
Yeah, you
I imagine. Look at this shiny toy I got.
Yeah, just
you
let
know?
him do his thing. I mean, that kid's decision making and arm was elite. You know, I'll be excited to watch him and see what he can do at the college level. I mean, he's 6'4", about 220. You know, he's kind of Josh Allen-esque in body type, and obviously he didn't run the ball like that, but he could have by all means. You know, when you're that big as a senior, 18-year-old, you can kind of bully the other kids on the field.
Yeah, Jet Tamala. I don't know.
When you say
Hey, you know, we could have
What?
we could have had Dayton Raiola, you know.
That was a good option.
Oh yeah, remember that?
Is this
yeah.
the same Dayton that
That's
might
gonna-
be a tight end?
Yeah, he's gonna play tight end at Oregon. Yeah,
Is that it?
yeah, weird.
What a story that is.
That's a story right there, isn't
Listen, Michael, here's the problem. When you have a family holding a gun to your head saying,
it? You can't run a program like that.
do this.
You can't run a program like that.
I think you're right. And I think Coach Rule just, he snipped that umbilical cord off.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
I had a point, but I'm jumping to this now.
Jump.
Dan Lanning is not a dumb man. Dayton saying he's going to come play tight end at Oregon.
He's going to be a Mackey Award winner now.
Do you
No,
want to
he's-
know if I'm Dan Lanning, who I'm starting at tight end? A fucking tight end. Not a guy who's played quarterback his
Right.
entire life.
it's a
Power
package
move,
deal.
get him away from the QB room. Just throw
Yeah.
him to the tight end.
I'm going to start a tight end over here.
Right.
Well, it's just,
Jesus.
and I know we're like kind of venturing off,
Yeah,
Millard South or whatever, but I remember hearing like you would see Dylan and Dayton working
Package
together.
deal. Package deal.
Well, hold on. Like working together with the same, Patrick Mahomes quarterback coach, and people would see the lefty, right? And it's a beautiful throwing motion, and people would say, man, that Dayton's probably going to be better than his brother.
I did.
And now he's going to be a fucking tight end. It's just, I don't know. It's amazing. It's just amazing. And like, speaking of amazing, and this isn't even really a question necessarily, but just with the whole Trey situation, and I'm viewing this as like a glorified like redshirt year for him. Like pre-redshirt Nebraska, because he's going to be there a lot. And I would assume he's going to be in the offices a lot with Coach Rule and et cetera. So it's just, I'm going to be very interested in seeing, like, is that going to mesh well with what you guys are going to do at Millard South? Like, I don't know. This is so unprecedented. And I realize that it's happening in more places, and it's probably
Dylan did it for for Georgia until he didn't go to Georgia.
Yeah.
So
So how does that work? Like,
Good question.
he has no idea.
Yeah, we really
Unprecedented.
don't know. I
Right.
mean, our summers are the summers. We're going to expect, those guys to be there just like everyone else. And then during the school year, you have class, then you got football. So I'd imagine, obviously we have our football stuff in the morning, I'd imagine I don't even know what the rules are about going down there and being around people or being in meetings and stuff either. So I'd imagine maybe like the afternoons, fly back down to Lincoln and kind of do what you can and stuff like that. I know, well, they'll be graduating in December, but I know the year I was at Papillion when Eric Ingerson was going down there, he was able to like go down there and work out, do their workouts with like out the coach's supervision.
Of
You know what
course
I
not.
mean?
They won't be in
Yeah,
that
exactly. They were locked in their rooms.
Yeah, of course.
So, but that was pretty cool, at least to be able to go down there and get your feet wet and start working out.
Expose yourself to kind of like what these
The
guys are going to
coaches and
do. The
stuff,
coaches.
when you get down there and the coaches know your name, you already feel a little bit better than the next guy just
Yeah.
because those guys are just,
Well, especially
Just
as a
getting there.
quarterback too. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Tay Ellis. I mean, I think he'll have a head start on some of these other wide receivers,
Mhm.
yeah,
but
sure.
maybe you're
Well,
a
I'm
big
just-
wide receiver guy. So
Well, no, I'm just what is a wide receiver? Why is this a position on the field? We should just have all fullbacks.
no
Awful.
one, no
Can
one
we-
wants
can
to
we
watch
do
that. No one wants to watch that.
Dylan, I want to watch that. I am a sick bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I told these guys before the Utah game, like someone had wrote that about, Whittingham's offenses at Utah. It's just 11 fullbacks running through your face mask. Fun, not. And we saw that in Vegas a little bit.
So I'm going to ask a question that I feel like maybe could put you in an impossible spot here,
Yeah.
right? Like
Oh,
Trey
boy.
Taylor, when he talks about coming to Millard South,
Mhm.
in his, announcement tweet is
Mhm.
talking about, I'm going to be in Lincoln at the
Mhm.
facilities as much as I can. Do you see this as a little bit concerning for like how he's going to play at Millard South? Like, does that become something where, I need your focus here at Millard South?
Right.
Or again, we talked to Coach Terry last week about how his job is to prepare these guys for, their next position. And that's really what we're looking for. How do you see this with this kind of dual role? And I know you said you don't know how it's going to work yet, but does that provide a little bit of concern for you?
I mean, I think it'll work out the way it's supposed to. Like you said, I'm not sure what that looks like at all either. I think after talking to them, they were in town obviously last week. They're all in with Millard South, and their goal is to win a state championship too. So I think those guys are willing to sacrifice the time to put in the work with the guys and whatnot too. So it'll be interesting just when it comes. Like you said, none of us have been a part of something like this. I don't think it's the end of it either. I think more guys, maybe not just to Millard South, but like just around the country, will start doing that. I don't know what the NIL deal or anything looks like that, or if he can get paid, but if I was an 18-year-old and you were going to pay me money, I'd probably go to your state too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
sure.
Could you imagine
it's
18-year-old Utter
nuts.
getting money and have
I just wanted my Pell
responsibilities?
Grant.
Yeah.
Give me the refund on the Pell Grant. We'll make that last all semester.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We got our $1,400 stipend back then, and once I got put on scholarship, you're like, holy shit, this is nice.
$1,400.
Yeah. Now I think,
Meanwhile, Trey's pillow is $1,400,
right.
like just stuffed in the pillowcase,
Mhm.
and that was your life.
But no, I'm a little envious. When people ask me about Nebraska, I go, well, I'm a little too young to win a championship. I'm a little too old to have got the NIL. So I'm kind of the shitter.
Listen, going back to like your question, here's what I'm gonna predict. I'm gonna predict like 4,500 yards.
That's a lot of yards right there, bro.
Like,
That's a lot
What
of
did
yards.
Jet throw?
3,600.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
definitely not.
Okay. Let me change it then. 3,700 yards.
Oh,
Wow.
How many touchdowns
you think
did Jet throw?
his OC is going to take a
Jet
next step?
threw a lot, man. 58.
59.
So
Yeah.
How many interceptions?
I mean, with that, don't be a betting man, because like I said, we have our backup quarterback that will rep this year too.
Sure.
And so Trey's been really cool about working with him and talking to him, saying, hey, I'm going to try to mentor you and kind of help you, and we think the world of Brody is his name. And, having 2 years with 5-star quarterbacks to kind of learn from and grow from, I've never thrown the football. So I think those guys are going to be, great mentors, great leaders, great coaches for those younger guys, especially Brody, having 2 5-star quarterbacks in the room. So
I'm watching this. I'm going to predict something. So Trey Taylor is going to have this great career at Millard South. 3-time state champion, 3 in a row for Millard South next year. And Trey Taylor is going to open the door to Millard South getting recruited by Nebraska.
The pipeline.
Because they're going to be watching Trey Taylor play and be like, oh, wait, who's that guy?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, who's that guy?
Mhm.
Hey, let me go call their OC and ask who that guy is.
Right.
Woo.
There's my prediction.
There you go.
There's my prediction. No numbers.
Yeah, it'll be cool. I mean, we'll play some out-of-state games again this year too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's fun. I saw something online. I think some other schools are working with like Sioux Falls too. I don't know if you guys saw those tweets out there. So I think some more Metro teams are going to be playing Sioux Falls and stuff. So that's pretty good, I think. I mean, when you're a high school kid and you could travel with your boys to a whole new state. I mean, we went to Vegas last year and it was an incredible, time for those guys. A lot of them, usually don't fly out of Nebraska or been on a plane until that moment. So the one thing I tell about those guys is like, we went down there, it was a flawless trip. Like every kid behaved, no one missed bed checks, all that stuff, and as you know, high school kids behaving in Vegas, you know what I mean? Like it was hats off to those guys. They were young professionals.
And then you played against your old coach. Is that how that worked? Or no? Okay, I didn't know if you guys played against Wisdom or whatever.
No, we went to Vegas. Wiz is at Chandler.
Okay,
so where Dylan Raiola was.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So we played this team called Arborview. We were supposed to play Basha again, who was a top 25 team. Something didn't work out. They were supposed to come up here and just said, nah.
They're like, I'm not
scared.
So we, this was like March or April, and everyone has their schedule set by then. So we, we found Arborview just through the grapevine, really on the internet, and Mendenhall got that set up. So that was a pretty cool deal. I think this year, the schedules come out next week, so we'll see who we play this year. But we're always trying to play, national teams. I don't know if you guys saw that overtime St. Francis game at all on ESPN2. You didn't see that they played Corner Canyon.
Yep.
The shitty thing about that is they were going to choose us. Like it was between us, Corner Canyon, or Bigsby, Oklahoma.
Oh, damn.
And so that would have been cool. It was like a $250,000 purse. Whoever won, I think the loser got $100,000. It was all included, like all paid for. Trip to Baltimore to play at Under Armour.
Wow.
Corner Canyon played their state championship on Thursday, and we played on the next following Tuesday. NSA kind of held some, they're like, hey, if you guys get chosen, we'll take it to the board, see if we can get this passed through. So it was just kind of didn't work with the timeline, but it was between us and basically Corner Canyon.
There was a lot of controversy for you guys not getting picked.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Uh-uh.
Oh, there was.
Really?
TikTok was going nuts.
Really?
But again, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska already.
So it's on your
my algorithm.
Algorithm
But
says
yeah, no,
Millard
that would have been
South.
sweet. We wanted to, everyone, says go play some other teams. I mean, like shit, we wanted to go get battle tested too. We want to see what dudes we got.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's like the knock on like Nebraska, like the metro, the talent here, small population, less guys. And you talk about Texas, California, Georgia, all these major powerhouses for high school. But if you can go in and test yourself against a place like that and you hold your own or even win, it's like maybe Nebraska, the state of Nebraska, can start getting some more credit for the talent.
That brings me to another question. Like we know D1 coaches in like all sports are, I'm sorry, Kyle, did you have some?
No, you're good. Keep going.
D1 coaches in all sports are going to know each other. If they don't know each other personally, they're going to at least know of each other and know kind of how they operate. With your level, like Millard South is D1 of high school athletics. Nationally, do you have relationships with other coaches of that same caliber? Like, do you guys have conversations with them? What's that like?
Not me personally. Like I said, Taylor Mendenhall's the head guy, so a lot of things run through him.
We need to get Mendy on the pod, brother.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, we'll line that up.
Yeah, he should. He's good stuff.
I think he graduated a year after.
Yeah,
us.
he graduated with my wife. He was in Carly.
2013.
He's your wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah. I had pride time with Taylor. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pride time.
What were you talking about before that? Sorry.
Like, do you have
Nationally?
relationships?
Oh yeah, like I
with
said,
other coaches
Taylor would by now, just by communicating, especially with the college coaches, they always have to say, hey, I'm in town. Like, what time's best to come in, stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
I'm not talking college. I'm
high
talking like
school?
other high schools,
Yeah.
like that are of the same caliber as Millard South, because you guys are top tier.
yeah, like I said, maybe more like on Taylor's side, just because he's kind of the voice of the team. But yeah, just kind of scheduling teams. There's some other ones out there we've kind of gotten to know just through the grapevine, just trying to reach out and get teams. But for the most part, no. I mean, we're still just kind of new on the scene too. You got to think we only went back to back. Millard South hadn't won a state title since
2012. But no,
2009.
No, 09. Yeah,
09, yeah.
09 when we were there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of been the West Side show
Bronson.
around here. So, it's kind of us two still at the top there.
Yeah, you guys are like the new bloods.
A little bit.
Kind of.
Kind of, but
Right,
not
there's-
really. Like,
but
Millard
there's-
South
They've
is
been good,
just-
but just not in the state
No.
title game. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like they just haven't been able to finish it off. Like I said, kudos is the coaching staff. Like I said, I mentioned Nolan Urban previously, but he had worked with those young guys as like 8, 9, 10-year old, so he had been working for this, for the last 10 years. And it was fun to see it to come to fruition. Those guys who were 18 years old talking about how shitty 5th grade football practice was. They said it because Urban he would coach varsity linebackers, then come up to the top of the hill at Millard South to coach youth football.
Wow.
And those kids would be like, every time we saw that fucking van, we knew we were in for a day. Tough Tuesdays, they called it. So
Hell yeah.
KB.
You got anything over there? We got any good comments in the chat? Any super chats? Nothing like that?
Okay, so we got one super chat, $1.99 from BA. He says NR is
come
the
on,
GOAT.
man.
Love you boys.
You can't be throwing super
we-
chats. Dude,
Can we
lost
refund his
house.
$1.99?
Yeah, can I give him his $1.99 back? What are we doing, dude? Like, we appreciate you, though. We
Yeah,
love you.
we appreciate it. I was just gonna say, we're talking about purses. We're talking about going to Las Vegas. We're talking about big money. Dudes transferring from out of state into the school. All this new stuff that back in 2012, Mr. Mike and Mr. Kyle here, that's not what we experienced at all.
No.
And then you look back at last year and you see some forfeited games and obviously a lot of one-sided or lopsided wins
Ass
for
whoopings.
Millard South. Yeah,
those
ass
are called,
whoopings.
Those are called belt. That's
BTA,
the new,
baby.
BTA. That's like the new thing. Yeah, Millard South is BTA on everybody they play. So,
Michael Irvin on your sideline.
I mean,
I'm just like, I'm trying to rack my brain because a lot of people look at the whole Trey Taylor situation and like this new era of football just in general, NIL, transfer portal. Now you've got high school kids going to live in the state. And a lot of people are just kind of like shaking their head, like, "Oh my God, this is football now." You know, I was just curious, like your take on just this era of football that we're in.
One thing I'll say, because people ask me this all the time, did it get old kicking everyone's ass? And I'm just gonna say, hell no, it didn't.
Yeah, let's go.
It doesn't get old scoring touchdowns, especially watching those guys make plays. But granted, like we don't expect to do that, every year, every game, but it's different. I stand on the side of like kids have the choice to better their future, and if they feel like that's moving to another high school, it's their life to live and their choice, and to be an 18-year-old kid, we had a kid that was a sophomore, 15-year-old, 14-year-old kid move up here as well. They're making big decisions for their future, and essentially, it's their life. But, the NSA is trying to do something this year to change the scheduling a little bit. So, you don't see like Millard South versus some of the, Omaha public schools and whatnot. Obviously, we saw Benson last year, and kudos to them. They played us, you know what I mean? Like we respected them a lot more than the other team that decided to forfeit against us. Granted, it was the same outcome, and there was we bended the rules a little bit, like it was running clock the whole game. We didn't return anything and stuff like that. So like we tried to be somewhat respectful, I guess, but it's just the way it is now, and the thing is if you're the school that's not doing it, another school in the metro is doing it.
Exactly.
So like, do you want to be on the other side of the lopsided wins, or do you want to try to, and every school can say that they're not getting transfers, but every school gets transfers. Like, good old Pap South wanted to say homegrown, but they had some transfers the last couple of years that were on the team as well. And when I was at Papio, we had transfers there, and, Westside has them, Millard North has them. Like the transfers are at all the schools. It just happened to be like the last year or two, Millard South has got the dudes, you know what I mean? And those other kids are getting good, or teams are getting good kids. It's just like people only know the big names, you know what I mean? And that's the thing that gives buzz in the media.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, Kyle, I think that's just kind of the you either
it's
adapt,
difficult,
you
man.
either adapt or die.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that. It's like with NIL in college football, you can hate it as much as you want, talk shit. You gotta roll with it, man.
Until it's something different.
Like, because again, like you said, if you're not doing it, someone's going to. And like back in the 70s and the 80s, if you're not taking roids, Oklahoma is. And guess what? Oklahoma's going to kick your ass.
Exactly.
Like, like you said, it's not just one school doing it. But if you're going to do it, you got to do it better.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is what it is.
That's how Nebraska is. Like when Matt Rule's flexing this, now we've got competitive NIL, and then we go watch this offseason that we just had, and we're like, but do you? Right? Like, I want to be the front runner in these things, right? And Millard South is the front runner in adapting to the era that we're in, right? Be the leader in it. Don't be behind, because when you're behind, you lose.
Well, like another argument that people will say about high school is like it should be, localized. Like if you live in that
district,
if you live in that neighborhood, right?
And trust me, I believe that too. Like if that's what everyone was doing, then let's play. But no, it's not what everyone's doing. So
and
option enrollment was a thing when I was in high school, and that was 20 years ago. Like,
well, it's just, maybe it sucks. It sucks to say, high school sports used to be innocent and nice, and so did college football used to be innocent and nice. And
there was never McDonald's bags or anything like that, or steroids or
no. And like the Big 8 was really fun, but we don't play in the Big 8 anymore. It is what it is, and it sucks, and it's cutthroat, and it's cold-blooded, but this is the time we live in.
So. And not only that, these kids can change their lives with the NIL money now. So like if I can transfer to school and it's going to better my opportunity to make $250,000, like, I'm going to leave, like it's a no brainer. Like I said, a lot of people thought the transfers, like, title hopping too in the high school level, but it's like those kids had to go harder every day because the guys around them, you know what I mean? If you were the one guy that was slacking or taking the reps off, like you just didn't fit in, So it's adapt or die essentially. You gotta roll with what everyone else is doing too.
Yep.
So as a coaching staff, because you guys are adults, like how to deal with outward criticism, and I don't think it's like a secret that there was a lot of talk about Millard South bringing in that you got a lot of these transfers. How like are the players? Does that culture come down from you guys? It's just like we're gonna shut out the outside noise. Like how has that worked for your players?
Yeah, Mendenhall does a good job of preaching to the kids that. Like I said, that group was just so damn mature too. Like they had been getting kind of bashed on their whole life. like I said, they put these teams together when they were youth football. So when these guys were in youth football, they actually got kicked out of the MYFL, which is like the Metro Youth Football, because they were kind of, putting a good team together.
They were too good.
And so like these guys played travel ball only from like age 11, 12 until, high school. So they were going around the country playing the top teams. So like they felt like once they got to high school, they're like, we're already battle tested. We played the 8th grader that got the offer at, Georgia or something, they already played those guys. So they felt like they've seen the competition. So like they never back down, like we played East St. Louis in the 7-on-7 in the summer too, which is a top, 20 team. And same deal. They just love to compete, love to play ball, but they did a great job, like obviously there's all that shit in the news, calling these guys cheaters and stuff like that. But like if they were in the building and knew what kind of character these guys had and just what work ethic they had, they would just have a whole different take on all those guys. Like I said, it's just different. Kids don't love football like they used to, but like this crew right here, I mean, like even yesterday at 5:00, me and Mindy were leaving the stadium, and there was two guys that just graduated out there getting work in, like
wow,
just they just love ball, and you just don't see that all the time, so like they were a joy to be around, but they know their worth, everyone sees it on Twitter. You just kind of had to, push it off to the side. I mean, Twitter, thankfully, when I was in there, I was only getting like a couple DMs saying I'm the worst fucking center of all time.
Hey, I apologize for both of those.
It wasn't. Nowadays, I can't imagine, there's a million burners. There wasn't really burners back then as much, at least people were tweeting off their main account.
Yeah. If you want to talk shit, don't be a coward.
Right.
Well, you got these
as much as I want to make a burner myself, but
you got these Barstool high school accounts that just talk shit.
That's gross.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine just having phones back then when you were going through it, like so much dirt out there?
Yikes.
Well, hey, and to your question, Connor, like what are they saying, right? Like, how are they letting the outside noise in? No, they're out here throwing touchdowns, getting offered by D1 programs. Like,
don't give a
you can think what you want. We're winning, and we're gonna go make some money.
Sorry, Ted from Waverly.
Right.
Sorry, buddy. As you're watching on your couch, we're kicking your ass.
It's just so wild to me that like you look at 16, 17-year-old kids, maybe even 18, that are getting this onslaught of like, oh, well, you guys are too good to be playing. Like I got very small criticism. I went to a very small high school in Louisville, Nebraska.
Jesus, here we go.
He was a wrestler.
I did not. And I wasn't good at it.
I can't believe how much NIL they paid you.
Yeah, I got 50 cents. I got a nice Gatorade.
You got a hot dog at lunch.
But like I got shit talked to me in high school, and like I couldn't deal with like 2 people. They have thousands of people, and
Talking
they just seem
shit.
so locked in all the time. The maturity that it has to come from the coaching culture.
I think a lot of it, like I said, I mean, it is the culture that we have. Like I said, Urban kind of just created those fucking monsters, dude. Like he's a no nonsense guy, and he kind of instilled hard work into those guys and being humble and just sticking with each other. Those guys were all together, so like as long as it was a brotherhood, as long as they had each other, they don't really give a shit what anyone else is saying. And
hell yeah.
At the end of the day, it's football, it's a game, like if you want to bash on them, so be it. But what do they say? All publicity is good publicity. So like you just got their name out there even more in the algorithm, Hey,
it's like, where are they hating on
business, baby? We live in that business.
It's like, where are they hating on him? Oh, there must be something to it.
Exactly.
And then you watch them or whatever. And, just like kind of going back to like the innocence of everything and how that's been lost. And it's like, I think of Trey and, maybe I feel this way a little bit more than everybody else just because I am a teacher and everything. And I try to encourage the kids, be kids as long as you can. Right.
Yeah.
And then you see Trey and it's like, he's got so much on his shoulders right now. And, some of it he's putting on himself because, he is out there and it's like, but like I said, this is going to be a glorified redshirt year and he's going to be billed as Nebraska's future. And he's putting, this pressure on himself. And like on one hand, I want it all to pay off and I want him to have a statue outside Memorial. But at the same time, it's like, I want you to be a kid too. But it's just, but then you think of all the money that's at stake, right?
He's not a kid, right?
He's making a lot of money. I mean, probably now and will be. So it's just the balance of being a kid, getting paid 6 figures, getting the criticism, putting the pressure on yourself.
Yeah. It forces them to grow up quick. I mean, I would say 90% of those seniors that were the D1 kids and some D2 kids, they left that semester. So kids just graduate early nowadays in general. They say, screw prom, screw my fun track season, or some of them don't play all those guys were basketball guys. And if they would have stayed, they probably would be one of the best teams in the state on the basketball court too, and could have went in one state there too. So, it is a weird thing though. Cause I know when I was in high school, I wanted to stay. I mean, I had my best friend graduated because he went to the military, but like you didn't hear about guys really graduating, back then. I remember who Jamal Turner, like name another guy really like, during that time, I can't think of many.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So we are nearing the end here. So what I wanted to talk about was your bowling event.
there we go.
There we go.
So every year, Coach Dutter has invited us along to join his bowling event. It's sorry, you're gonna have to tell me the name again.
So it's my mom now that she's passed. So Dinah and Dylan's Scholarship Foundation, Play It Forward. So we go out to Mockingbird every year. This year it's March 28th, 12:30 to 3. Just go out there, roll some lanes, drink some beer, have some pizza, and we usually have some pretty good raffle items. That's kind of how we mainly, raise money for it. But, I'll be giving it out to 2, hopefully 3 scholarship guys or student athletes, I should say, at Millard South this year. So I got some guys that I hold dear to my heart and want to give those guys, just a little bit of money. And whatever they do with it, I tell them that, like, hey, here's $1,000. If you need a laptop, you want to spend it on books, keep it, whatever you want. As you guys know, college, well, I'll be giving it to guys that won't be making a lot of NIL if you guys. So the $1,000 goes long for those other guys, but no, we love it. This is year 6. It's always great turnout. Gotta love the support from the community and everyone that helps out with it.
Yeah. I just gotta say, your boy has the game of his life at that tournament every year.
You do.
Last year I bowled like a 272 or something and lost by like 3 points or something. Like that's like 2 years in a row now where I've bowled in like the 270s.
Nice.
I've never got the best game out of the group, but
there's some good bowlers in there. So it's gonna be tough.
It was awesome because that one year we had like Nick Gates.
Yep.
He was on our lane or whatever. And like, I'm just bowling out of my mind and everybody's like circling around me or whatever. It is a vibe over there.
That's a lot of pressure, huh?
Oh yeah.
Nick Gates, I have never seen somebody throw a bowling ball
so hard
in my
baseball guy too. So
Dude,
just
He
whips
hit
it.
like
ball
26
when
miles
it
an hour at one point.
hit the ceiling almost and then come back down.
Yeah.
The fastest bowling ball I've ever seen in my life.
Well, shout out to Nick. I got to make sure he's retired now, so I got to see if he can come up for it.
Yeah, he better come up for
Right.
it. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
No
no,
excuse.
it's a great event and we enjoy going to it every year.
Yeah.
You're right. You do have good raffle prizes.
Yep.
The putters and all that good stuff. Like it's good stuff.
Also, really quick, while we're on air, because he's not going to believe it unless you say it on air, can you just really quick say fuck Chase Withrow? Like,
Am I
Chase-
allowed to say that?
yeah, you
Fuck
can.
you, Chase.
Yeah. Chase Withrow is my sister and her husband, one of their best friends. And Chase and Dylan grew up together. And he talks all the time about Dylan and how Dylan's a great guy. And I love to talk shit on
Yeah.
Chase. So I just needed that
Yeah.
really quick.
If you're around Chase, you better be ready to drink some Fireball. That's all I know.
He will be ready if I know anything about him.
Do you have a date set for this upcoming one?
Yep, March 28th. So I think that's the last Saturday. Hopefully Nebraska's still dancing so we can throw some beers back and watch those boys win.
Let's
So
go.
I'm not sure. That might be the second round of games.
March 28th.
Second weekend of games.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
that'll
spring game, right? March 28th?
Oh, is
Because
it?
it's earlier this year.
Oh, yeah. I think it might be a spring game. I'm not going to that
Uh-oh.
shit, so I
Hey,
don't
that's
care.
good. We're talking. Maybe you need to reschedule. I don't know. Hey, but
Maybe,
then again,
maybe
maybe
Nebraska needs to reschedule.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
I was-
shit.
March 28th. You're not looking at good weather there, so I mean, who knows what that'll.
Yeah.
It's either
Yeah.
really nice or really shitty. That's the second winter.
You might want to be in a bowling alley
Yeah, exactly.
for a good cause that day instead of watching the football
Is
team.
it 28th?
I'm checking.
It is.
I think
Yes.
it is.
28th, yeah.
Mm.
Well, just something to
Yeah.
think about.
I mean, it's not even a spring game these days. I mean,
Yeah, let's be real.
Well, that's the thing is now
just
it's going
to it.
back.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the grab ass thing like it was last year,
Yeah.
like dance competition.
Yeah, that's what just sucks because when I was in playing spring ball, like spring game was your chance to show what you got. You
Yeah.
know, those 2s and 3s, like, that I had to make the roster based off spring ball. That's like preseason for college guys. So you kind of lose that with the young bucks trying to show out.
Okay. I know we're up against it.
Mhm.
So the schedule for football, the order has come out. The order
Yeah.
is official. Okay. Now
Yeah.
we're not going to run through the whole thing. I just want to run through the first 3. Okay. The first 3. Now, hold on. You think it's funny, but my question you'll see. So Ohio, Bowling Green, North Dakota. So everybody, I'm gonna go around the room. Does Nebraska start 3-0? I say yes, they will. Kyle, what say you?
I or yes.
Oi.
Oi.
Connor, 3-0?
Yes, but you're gonna get a test.
Which
no.
game?
No, there's not a test. They're going to kick the shit out of those 3 teams.
Okay.
And they're going to be 3-0.
It's one of those. I think it's gonna be North Dakota. You're gonna get a.
I think
Fuck
so.
no.
I would say North Dakota if someone's going to challenge.
It's not.
Also, I'll
Dakota
plug
State.
another Millard South guy. There's a Millard South DN there, so I hope
Okay.
at least he goes to
Yeah.
work that
Hey,
day.
I'm
He'll go
telling
to
you,
work.
that game's
Lance
gonna be
Rucker,
closer.
watch
than you
out
think.
for him. He's a stud.
I'm sure Lance Rucker will
Do you know
get
Lance?
Calandria down
Do
a
you
few
know him or
times.
you've heard him or what?
I've heard of him, have not met him or
Yeah,
anything. But
yeah. No, I think he was like some type of defensive honors down in what league is North Dakota in?
oh crap!
I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's not Missouri Valley, right?
Conference
Nah,
USA.
no, not
that's
Missouri
Missouri Valley.
That's kind of
American. No.
is that being like insulting to them, not knowing
A
what
little bit because the Dakotas
because they
are
might
all in
beat
there.
us
All right,
because it took
Hey,
Casey Thompson throwing up a prayer to Trey Palmer.
They are in
Remember?
the FCS and they are
to
in
beat
the
Nodak. Remember
Oh, no, I don't
remember?
Dude, I black out
when
those games.
when Anthony Grant went off? What, Mike? Sorry, go.
the MVS
MVC.
MVCF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that? Mountain
fuck
Valley?
is that?
Mountain Valley.
MVP.
Missouri Valley, I think. Maybe.
No,
I
that's
don't know.
not Missouri Valley.
Oh, Great West Football Conference. Missouri
Well, none of those letters.
Missouri Valley Football Conference is what it is.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
covering
Mo
Kyle's
Valley.
just got his eyes.
Mo
crossed.
Valley. The Mo Valley. It was right the first time.
Anyway, we have all predicted 3-0 out the gate, halfway to a bowl game next year with a tough schedule. Let's go.
Good job.
I
Yeah,
love
we're
that
trying
you
to be
stop
positive.
at
You're
three
way,
and we
you're
don't
way
go
too early
past that.
prediction right there.
Right.
We gave you 3 of them. Now let's give you the other 9 throughout the next 3 months.
No.
Oof.
There's a reason why I didn't say anymore. Okay. What else are we wrapping up with? What we good?
Oh no, you got to do this.
Oh,
this
the new read.
This new ad read.
It's new. Who wrote this one?
I think
Edgar-
I think ChatGPT did.
Every time.
I don't, there's no M dash. I don't believe it's ChatGPT.
Jimmy was sitting there and he said, "I sent you a new ad read for Sinovation Omaha, and Connor's gonna nail it right now."
That's a lot of pressure.
Come on.
All right, you guys have heard me talk about Sinovation Omaha before. I'm going to do it in a different way today. Sinovation Omaha creates high-impact indoor and outdoor signage that makes your brand impossible to miss. From turning your vehicle or truck into a rolling billboard to bold wall wraps that transform the inside of your business, they're going to help your space pop with their branding. And if you're moving locations or rebranding, they can help you light up the Omaha or Lincoln skyline with custom illuminated signage that's going to put your logo front and center. Bring your brand to life tonight with Omaha Sinovation or Sinovation Omaha. See, I knew it was going to happen eventually. You can check them out. We're going to have it in the episode description. I promise you. OmahaSignsAndWraps.com.
Seems pretty easy,
There you
pretty
go.
straightforward.
Hey, Kyle, question for you.
Mhm.
You know, you ever seen like someone give a speech, right? And there's always someone right beside them that are doing the hand motions for the deaf or hard of hearing.
Mhm.
That's what Mike
Sign
needs
language
to
is
do.
that.
Yeah.
Mike needs to learn all the words. Sign.
Can we teach you sign? He's not going to be fluent in anything else. He's only
we
going to
do need a signaler at Millard South so you can get some
Dude,
work
I
in.
could do that. Give me the Mickey Mouse sign and the Donald Duck, and I'll tell you guys
the
what
heavy
they're up.
brewing sign.
Oh, heavy
Hey!
brewing.
There you go.
The heavy monkey. Run that
With
play.
MBNR right next to it. We'll
Down.
have to roll that out this
Down.
fall.
You do that. I'll be on the sideline. I'll make content for you guys. It'll be fun.
It's going to be like Mike when he goes to Mexico every 3 weeks.
I'm going
Hey,
to.
Jesus.
Yeah. No, I said every 3 weeks.
I
You're
go
there
every
all
3
the time.
months, maybe every 6 months.
But like the only phrases he knows are like cerveza and donde está el baño.
See,
We're gonna teach him sign language, but it's just gonna be the Sinovation Omaha ad read. That's gonna be the only phrase he knows.
Beer and where's the bathroom?
Yeah.
That's all he knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
in fine dining.
Comer. Spotify, YouTube, all the stuff. Google us.
NBR podcast.
And we are no block, no rock. Okay. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Dillor.
Connor Kavlak.
Kyle Byers.
Dylan Utter.
As always, beat Rutgers. Angie.